The world is full with weird animals, and zoos are a terrific place to see many of them from the safety of a paved road or through thick enough glass to protect your eyes. Sure, we all expect to see the usual suspects at zoos: tigers, lions, elephants, bears, and other creatures. If you're really into it, or more likely your kids are, keep an eye out for cheetahs, zebras, wildebeests, crocodiles, and other animals. And of course, every zoo appears to have a large stillwater pond stocked with flamingos. What's up with that? However, the normal wild animals on show don't begin to portray the narrative of Earth's incredible biological diversity. Some zoos have some extremely unusual animals, and the sight of them will stick with you forever. In this video, we'll look at some really frightening species that exist in the real world, as well as how zoos throughout the world are conserving and studying them. It's hard to believe that some of these animals weren't created by Maurice Sendak for his book Where the Wild Things Are. But they are absolutely real, and you can see them for the price of a regular zoo ticket. A very rare find. The platypus, Ornithorhynchus anatinus, is a duck-billed, semi-aquatic mammal found solely in Australia. It is also only kept in zoos in Australia, and only on rare occasions. The platypus is an unusual animal that produces eggs and possesses venomous spurs on its hind legs that it may use to defend itself and catch its own prey. The platypus is also quite sensitive to its environment. In fact, just a few platypuses have ever been housed alive in Australian zoos throughout history, and even fewer have ever lived outside of Australia for an extended period of time. The Bronx Zoo in New York briefly had many platypuses more than 7 decades ago, but has not had any since the latter half of the 20th century or the beginning of the 21st century. During World War II, Winston Churchill famously requested a platypus for Britain, but the animal perished on its way there. So imagine our astonishment when, in 2019, the San Diego Zoo revealed that it had secured 2 platypuses for display in Southern California. This is the first time a platypus has been presented at a zoo outside of Australia in nearly a century. It's a huge issue for both conservationists and admirers of odd animals. A creepy-looking shark. The goblin shark, Mitsukurina austoni, is a terrifying-looking predator that dwells thousands of feet beneath the sea. It features a long, clumsily constructed snout and several rows of untidy, sharp, needle-like teeth. The snout, also known as the rostrum, is covered in a set of unique organs that allow these goblin sharks to locate their prey deep in the ocean. Because sunlight cannot reach down there, they must rely on non-visual cues to detect the electric fields emitted by other fish. In turn, their long and fearsome fangs may be seen even when the shark's jaw is completely closed. Its mouth contains so many teeth that they do not all fit within, even when they chomp down. If it isn't the stuff of nightmares, we don't know what is. Scientists are particularly interested in goblin sharks because they live so deep in the water. Because it is nearly impossible to study goblin sharks' behavior for lengthy periods of time, scientists have largely been left in the dark, pun intended, about how they feed, swim, communicate, migrate, mate, and so on. Fortunately, there are at least a few in captivity, allowing scientists to start figuring out some of these things. Most notably, you can visit the aquarium in Yokohama, Japan to witness a real live goblin shark and be terrified by its strange appearance. Please get that thing a toothbrush. Look out, don't touch. Glaucus atlanticus, often known as the blue glaucus or blue dragon, is a small, distinctive, and very venomous sea slug species. These sea slugs survive by floating upside down in the ocean water. Then they employ the currents at the top of the water, as well as the winds that affect the sea's surface, to propel themselves around the world. They are also venomous, having venom contained in specialized sacs known as cnidosacs on the points of their bodies. That poison is not a large quantity in raw form, but it is highly concentrated and strong. A simple strand from the blue glaucus can emit more toxin than a man-o'-war jellyfish. These critters are quite uncommon in terms of human contact, but they do occasionally wash up on sandy beaches along coastlines around the world. They're easy to spot because of their unusual forms and brilliant blue markings. And if you do spot them, scientists warn you to stay away. Their venom poses too large a risk to remain near for too long. Nausea, discomfort, vomiting, and skin discoloration are all possible reactions to a sting. Fortunately, you may observe blue glaucus at the Sea Life Sydney Aquarium in Australia and the Texas Sea Life Center in Corpus Christi. There will hopefully be no risk there.